Trello is the location where our teams out in the groups in the field across Australia and New Zealand manage their members and some processes within that. For each of the groups, there is a team. So if we look, we've got all the teams down here, and some of the ones that are about to be launched are also partly set up here. And so if you look at a group here, meeting location, which is Wollongong, you'll have 4 boards. You'll have the guest boards, the member engagement boards, and the member nurturing boards. The last one, so these manage our people and members in terms of engagement, people turning up as guests, and also training of new members. And then the final board is the Excite presentations board. Now the Excite presentations board is where we manage the in-meeting presentations. When we have a new group commence, we need to set up all these boards for a new group. Let's take a look at how to set up a whole new team and the 4 boards for the groups for a new location. So in Asana, you have all of your tasks here for the setup of a new group, and they've been assigned to people and they've had dates allocated to them, and they need to be actioned accordingly and as close to the due date as possible, or well before. Some of the tasks are dependent on other tasks as well, so you'll need to make sure that those tasks have been done. So we've got a task here, create Trello group team for 4 boards for East Brisbane. So we're going to set up East Brisbane now. So the easiest way to do it is to do it from an existing team. And so we've got the 4 boards here. We can use this as a template here. So the first thing we need to do is create the team. So we can do that by clicking on Create Team. So you can see this is called, well, the boards are called just the name here. So we're going to create a team and we're going to call it East Brisbane. And the team type, and we'll just call it Operations, and continue. So the team members for this board, we find this information on the leadership team sheet, which is in the website information here, which is saved in the Trello card. Sorry, the Asana task. So find East Brisbane. Brisbane East, the Gabba. So we've got that here. And we can see the team. We don't have, these 2 are pending, but we do have this person here. We've also got Lorraine, who is a default person always, as well as Matt and Jason, and we'll go through those now. So if we go back to the building of the team here, you should automatically be on here as well. We've got, and because I'm creating it, I'm here, Lorraine. Just put both Loreens on there. There seems to be a double up there, but we want to make sure they're both on there. We need to have accounts on there. Sometimes it brings up people outside of your team, so you need to make sure we're using the email addresses to invite them. Once again, you can grab that information straight from the Trello card about who needs to be on here. You've got Anna. So we've got Neil Munro. So Neil's address there, sarah@bxnetworking.com. and cat@bxnetworking.com. We'll come back to and add Sarah in there. So invite to team. So we've now created this. There's no boards on here yet. So it's we've only created the team. We'll do a couple of other team edits here as well. We want to change and upload a new logo. So we'll grab in the marketing folder, the BX brand, the logo suite, screen, icon, and grab the icon. Either of these will work. They're just a JPEG or a PNG. We upload that. And we've got our members in here. So they're all members. And then we want to create some boards now. So if we go to boards, we could create the boards from scratch, but it's often easier to create the boards from other boards. And I'll show you how to do that now. So if you go to another board that we've got, and we were looking at the Wollongong boards before. So we'll go back into the Wollongong boards and we'll use those as an example. And so I find it easier if you just open them up. Like this. So some it's easy to start from scratch. Some it's easy to copy and paste. The X-Sites guests have often got lots of stuff happening on them, though this one's pretty good. You've got this here and this one here. So what we can do is we want to add these to the boards. So how we do this is you go to Show Menu. We'll go to More. We'll go to Copy Board. And we're going to call the board exactly the same as this here, but we'll call it Member Nurturing. And this one will be East Brisbane. We don't want it to go on the Wollongong board though. So now we find the East Brisbane board we just created, the East Brisbane team, East Brisbane. And we're now going to go Member Nurturing East Brisbane. Now we can remove both these because you don't want the cards on this one here or any template cards. So create. And so now this is transferred straight across to the Member Nurturing East Brisbane. Now we can also update the background on here as well, because obviously this now, it should be for East Brisbane. So let's find a Brisbane image, something we like on here, and we'll upload that one there. That could be our Member Nurturing East Brisbane background. So obviously now we've got on this board just the person who set it up. We need to invite the rest of the team. So if we invite one person, usually gives the option to invite everyone. There we go. So that's everybody that's on the team. We are now adding in. And we send the invitation. And now they appear up here. Now the other thing we want to do is click on this and we want to change permissions to admin for the BX people only. We want to make sure they've got full permissions to change stuff on this board. So the only people that won't have access to it, so Neil's been invited, we won't be able to put him on as a admin person because he's not part of the BX HQ team, but we want to make sure that everybody else is. It's very important, otherwise they can't do the stuff they need to do it on there. So now this board is the Member Nurturing East Brisbane board, all ready to go. So we can close that. And now we're on the Wollongong XI presentations board. And now what we'll do is we'll go once again, menu, more, copy board. So this is we are doing East Brisbane Excite presentations, and it's going to go on the East Brisbane board, and we're not the cards, and we got the templates. We create that, and so now we've got East Brisbane set up again. Got invite all team members, and send invitation. We'll wait for them to appear here. Brilliant. And now we just change them to admin. Okay, so everyone's now an admin on there. Of course, this is now East Brisbane, so I'll just copy this here and make it a bit easier and change that to East Brisbane. Okay, so we've added that. Now we have no dates for East Brisbane yet. They can be found in the Excite sheets. So in your Excite sheets for Queensland, because East Brisbane's in Queensland, we need to find the East Brisbane dates. Now, it may be in here, it may not be in here yet, depending on where people are up to with their jobs. It's not in here yet. So in this instance where we don't know where what date it's on, in our Trello board, we've got launch date the 17th of February. There's also a launch calendar as well. So the 2021 calendar, so we can double check that. So it is the 17th of February. And what we can do is go to the public calendar. On this instance, we'll just go to my calendar because it's all in there as well. We'll go to the 17th of February. And you can see that on this date, we've got 1, 2, 3 other meetings that we've got the East Brisbane launch. But here's a Coomera group. So we're already in the Queensland meeting. So Coomera is on the same day as East Brisbane, which means the Excite dates are on the same day. So we're going to use the Coomera Trello board. Coomera, let's reduce this down a little bit here. Now, this is all great. This is for the year here. Now, keeping in mind that we're launching on the 17th of Feb, so we're going to be copying these dates down. We'll just make sure they line up. Branding, legal, money, tech, July, August, September, October, November. So they're all perfect. So what we do now is we copy that. So I might pull this out there. Copy that and go back to the East Brisbane Excites, and I'm going to go paste, enter, copy, paste, enter, and I'm going to work my way through here like this. The other alternatives, you can just set up the same information in Excel with the different themes and dates and just put a formula in and then just copy and paste again. We are making the sheets here, these Google Sheets, obsolete. This used to be where we kept this data. Now this data's in Trello exclusively. So if these sheets are not available for dates and that, just recreate this same information down. And it's just the easiest way to copy and paste the data down for the team. So the team have got their dates lined up and they can start allocating people to these cards through the year. Okay, so they're all created there now. We don't have anything allocated to these yet, so that's all fine. We've got the dates they can allocate. But now what needs to happen is we'll finish those other 2 boards. We're going to come back to this East Brisbane board, and I'll show you what needs to happen in Zapier to make that happen as well. Because Zapier and the XI presentations run there, as well as with the guest board as well. So let's copy the guest board across. Copy board. So this will be guests and East Brisbane. And in East Brisbane, done with the cards. And that's copying across there. We'll change the background again. We'll put Brisbane in here. Use the same one there. And that's all set up and ready to go as well. Just got to update the Zapier for that. I'll show you that in a minute. Member engagement. More. Copy board. Member engagement. East Brisbane. And create. That's creating that board as well. Change the background. Oh. Slightly different board there. There we go, it's moved places. So we'll just create the same background for each of them. And we'll just check the East Brisbane team now. View team page. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got all the boards set up now, which is fantastic. Now we do need to update 2 of the boards in, so the Zapier pushes the cards that are automatically generated in here. So we automatically generate a card for every guest that books in and for every XI presentation. So we've got the board for guests here. We've got the board, I'll open this now, for our XI presentation. So let's have a look at how to update for the XI presentations first. So we go to Zapier and Zaps. Now the great thing is, so we're doing the XI presentations first. So we'll go to Xites. And you can see here we've got one here for Wollongong. So what I want to do is duplicate that. So we're going to go to copy. And we'll rename this. And so we'll just delete this here, copy, and we'll change this to East Brisbane. And we'll save that. Now we've got that, we need to click into it and edit it. So how that works now is the Infusionsoft information. So if we'll just work our way through, it's all set up because it's been copied, but I'll take you through how this works. So it's connected to our Infusionsoft account. It's selected the account there. The trigger is applied for an X-site at Wollongong. So we want to check in Infusionsoft if we've now got a tag for applied for an X-site at East Brisbane. So I'll have a look in here. And we can go to settings for CRM. And we'll just go to tags and applied for an X-site. We'll see what comes up. And we've just got the one set up, so we'll actually create a new one. And we're going to change this to East Brisbane. So part of the requirements of, so we'll put that under X-site. So apply for an X-site at East Brisbane. It's under the category X-sites, and we'll add that tag. Now, part of the job of one of the team in the element here is setting up all the tags. Sometimes some are done nice and early, but it depends when. So create tags here. So Annabelle's working on that, and this follows after that. However, if it's not done, you can add it and just put a note on her that you've already set up the tag for X-sites. Okay, back into Zapier. So now that we've created that tag, just to make things easier, we will find a recent Excite that was done. So we worked out that recent one was Arena Geller. That was the last one in the sheet there. So when we opened up the Excite sheet before, we saw that was the last one there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to tag that here. Takes a minute to come up. And so what's going to happen is once we apply this tag, it'll trigger this zap. So it's applying now. So we're going to change this to applied for next Excite East Brisbane. Continue. And that's the trigger. So we'll just check. Oh, we need to reload more because it's changed now. So we've got Arena here. So we need to make sure you reload this here, otherwise it's looking for old data. So continue. And so that part's done now. Now we want to update the Trello card and tell it what to do. So we've got create a card from Trello using my account, which is correct. This is the action. So the board it's going to go to is actually not Wollongong Excite presentations. It is Brisbane CBD Excite presentations. And the list it's going to go to will be Brisbane CBD. Oh, sorry. That's actually incorrect. That was actually East Brisbane Excite presentations. And East Brisbane. So there's two here that might have been double up. Let's just check that again. We'll go try the second one. And the list here, East. There we go, East Brisbane to be allocated. So that Excite presentations and to be allocated. So if we look at the board here, it'll land in this column here. And so what then happens is, back in Zapier, so that's now going to create a social card with all this data. It's going to pop it all into here. And it's going to then allocate all these tasks to all these people. Now, we've got Jason, Shaz, and Ella. So we want to make sure that, and Julie's coming up as Jason at the moment, but we want to go Ella. He's not in here. And Jason, Ella, Shaz. I don't think we added those when we created the board. So in this board here, we actually need to create in the team. It's in those lists of people to invite, but we need to make sure they're here, and we didn't add them here. So we want to invite some team members. So first email address. So select, add to team, and invite. The other person was Ella. Obviously drop that in there as well. And we've got that there. And so we've added them there now. So when we're back in here, we want to make sure we go add those two people in. So now we've got them added to that board. When we're over here, we can now go, it'll search the board, pick up Ella, and we want to go Shaz. and add him in there as well. So now they're both being added to the board, because the key is in here, sorry, back over here with the actions down here. So Jason, Ella, Shaz have all got tasks to do to create this board. The other thing other person we need to add to this board is the team leader, and that's gained off here. We saw that East Brisbane was Neil Munro, so we need to add Neil to it. It's possible we won't be able to add Neil yet because he hasn't accepted the invitation. That's fine. So we've got everybody that needs to be on there for the moment. We may need to go back and fix that, so you might need to create that task for the future to fix that. So now that's all been done, we can continue. And it's going to create a test. So we'll test that process. So the test has been done. We're going to go to East Brisbane now, and we can see that the Excite card's being created. It's assigned to the appropriate people, and it means that we can now go, what month is it? It's for January, so we should push it into January. In this instance, we don't have any cards for this particular meeting yet, but you would probably see a matching card here as well. So if, assuming that's at the 22nd of January, you could pop this above there. So we've got that allocated now, and we don't have anything outstanding on this list here as well. So, but you won't have to create them for the new groups. It'll be done by the team. Okay, so now we will archive this because it was just a test and we don't want to confuse anybody out there. And we know that it worked. So we're going to turn on the Zap. Either of those buttons will work. And we now know that this process worked. If you look back here, we'll have our East Brisbane Zap all ready to go. So I mentioned we have the guests for East Brisbane as well. I can see here this says Wollongong, so let's change this to East Brisbane. And we're going to set up the task in Zapier to push new guests into here as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our guest sequences and double check there's nothing set up yet for it, which is not. So we'll grab this here, we'll copy that, we'll rename it. It's Brisbane. And we're going to edit this. Very similar process to what we've just done before as well. So choose the app and event, Infusionsoft, tag added to contact, Infusionsoft, account number 1, the trigger is tag applied. So the tag applied, it's showing a number here, but it's actually the visitor add to Trello tag. For some reason we don't have a name of a tag there. Okay, it's very strange, but normally it would have the name. That's okay. What we want to find here now is the Trello tags. And so sometimes when how it lists them is it searches by the most currently created ones and works its way back. So you can see this is created recently. So Broadbeach member add to Trello or Broadbeach visitor add to Trello. So we want to create this. We want to create an East Brisbane guest add to Trello. Now, Annabelle's probably already created this in most ones you'll be setting up. However, in this instance, we'll need to create this now. So we're going to go to settings, CRM settings, tag, and we're going to add a tag. And we're calling it East Brisbane guest add to Trello. And it's going to go under, there's a Trello, there we go, Trello. East Brisbane guest add to Trello, apply tag. And so now when we go back to Zapier and we're looking at this here, we'll go load more and we'll go Trello doesn't want to find it. Yeah, we'll clear that. And we'll try again. There we go. East Brisbane guest add to Trello. Just sometimes takes a minute. We want to get rid of the old tag as well. So we've only got this current new one. So this says only trigger the first time. False. We want it every time. Continue. And we can test that trigger. Of course, nobody's got anything applied to them. So we can do the same thing again. Test this on yourself. So Jason at B-X. And we'll jump into your profile. And we will go to tags, click on the Trello tags, and we should have East Brisbane. East Brisbane, guest add to Trello, apply, save. It's going to apply that tag. Now when we're back in here, we'll test that trigger again. It'll bring up your account. Beautiful. Continue. We're going to jump into Trello now. It's going to create a card. It's going to create it in my account. We need to update a couple of things here. So it's not going to be this board. It'll be guests East Brisbane. And it'll be, the list will be, so these are our first visit TL call East Brisbane. There we go. So it's going to bring up now information that's come from your file. So some of it you won't have in there because you're not actually an official guest. It makes it due in 48 hours. It's called the guest checklist. It gives people a list of things to do. We're going to continue. We're going to test that. So test and review. And it's tested it now. So we're going to go to the guest board. And there we go. Jason B popped in there. Fantastic. We know it works. We're going to archive that because we don't need that. It's just the test. Back to Trello. We'll turn the Zap on. And that's how you update that information there as well. Too easy. So you can see your guests for East Brisbane will be now here and live. And we've got all of our boards. We've got East Brisbane Excites. We've got East Brisbane Guests. We've got the member engagement. And we've got all of them running here. So you can see your boards. So all good and ready to go. They're all set up and ready to go. Remembering that the two that need the Trello updates for Zapier are the Excites and the Guests. These two will run independent of that. So yeah, if you need any assistance or help, or if you've got any questions, make sure you reach out. But that takes you through the process. Thanks, mate.